Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our first activity. Here is the breaking news. Yes, the greatest risk of China's Xi Jinping himself. China's economy is faltering. Unemployment is skyrocketing. Unless COVID lockdowns are wreaking havoc on businesses and people's lives, the property sector is in crisis. Ties between Beijing and major global powers are under strain. The list of problems faced by the world's second largest economy goes on, and many of those long-term challenges have only worsened under a decade of Xi Jinping's rules. Yet the Chinese leader's grip on power is unwavering. In the first decades, Xi has consolidated control to an extent unseen since the era of communist Chinese strongman founder Mao Zedong. He is the head of the Chinese Communist Party, the state, the armed forces, and so many committees that he is been dubbed chairman of everything. And now he is poised to step into a non-breaking third term in power with the potential to rule for life. But absolute power can often mean absolute responsibility, and as problems mount, analysts warn Xi will have less room to avoid playing. I think the worst economy of Xi Jinping's longevity in ruling China is Xi Jinping himself, said Steve Tsang, director of the SOAS China Institute in London. It is when he makes a huge policy mistakes that causes havoc in China that could potentially start the processes of unraveling Xi Jinping holds to power. Mao's rule from 1949 until 1976 was marked by rash policy decisions that led to tens of millions of deaths and destroyed the economy. After those decades of turmoil, the Communist Party developed a system of collective leadership designed to prevent the rise of another dictator who could make arbitrary and dangerous decisions. China's next leader, Deng Xiaoping, said an unwritten rule and precedent that the Communist Party's General Secretary, the rule from which China's leader derives true power, would step down after 2 terms. When Xi assumed power in 2012, China's economy was booming as it integrated more closely with the rest of the world. Just 4 years before, China had stunned the world with the extravagant Beijing Summer Olympics, but to Xi, the party was in a state of crisis overrun by corruption, infighting and inefficiencies. This solution was to return to dictatorial and personalistic rule. He purged political enemies in a sweeping anti-corruption campaign, silenced internal dissent, abolished presidential term limits, and enshrouded Xi Jinping thought into the party's constitution. According to analysts, many dictatorships fall into a pattern of abuse of power and poor decision making when a lack of critical advice reaches the leader. They point to Vladimir Putin's increasingly costly war against Ukraine as soon confirmed that this similarly unquestionable power to the Russian president could one day lead to equal disastrous consequences. Beyond the effort for TV.